So you've seen me, right? I'm a pretty wild character. Okay, so I become the greatest writer in the history of the future planet ever. I hope somebody beats me on anything. Okay, but I don't think once you've seen it, my poetry, my freaking linguistics, across languages, possibly across computers, because I write code on all your dimensions and domains, and I've hacked through them all, and I've hacked through your freaking information systems. So I don't think, as a scriber, you're going to find a better scriber in the history of humanity. Okay, I think I become the most greatest radioactive actor in the history of humanity. Maybe unknown, it doesn't matter. I have already hit that point. With my mad radioactive dancing, which you've seen some of, okay, and I could take it higher if I wanted to. Well, I take it higher every day.
Did you ever do the dancing out there with the webcams?
Yeah, but my favorite is on the beach. Because then I can do it visually. And there's
well, you can do it on the beach over here because they have a camera that points this way too.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. They're taking them.
No, I'm saying you can
Wait a
do
minute.
it and have
I knew in the
people
beginning,
tap
I
into
gave
it.
up on this long ago when I first went second crazy, which I was playing crazy and then I really went crazy.
Yeah.
And then I got cut freaking naked in another pool with the high tower that got me the first time after offering to buy in California. I was really believing and I was turning I was putting my chairs on the table because I told them, I'm gonna make you guys an offer you cannot refuse. And then I told them, go ahead, punks, make my Dios. And Dios is God, of course. And I put chairs on the table to signify my offer. In my backyard, I had a big $1.5 million plus house. And in my backyard, expecting the satellites for watching me, really from the beginning. Because as soon as I offered to buy the world, I was more terrorist than Osama bin Laden. And as soon as I demanded that George Bush pardon Osama bin Laden, and then I was the anti-terrorist, I was the guy. And they might have known before, that gets strange, but I just know 2005 now, they knew who I was. So when I went to the cuckoo's nest, like a lot of times, I had to get my reality around, this is too crazy to think that you are this person. Right, that I've just described. A reality character like that. I'm not talking about a freaking made up thing, although I did make it all up. See, that's the thing, I wrote my own thing. Actually, when I was in that mental institute, that's where they called me freaking bipolar and I'm only a maniac. Anyway, that they said also, it said, be the author of your own life story. And I thought, I got my thing. Who's the king author of the future of Earth? If I could write the future for everybody, I give a path for everybody to play, right? But then you have to get really, really biblical about it. Well, I already had. See, I knew as soon as I bought the world that I had to go back and explain to him, because I only bought him the old-fashioned way. I showed him the economics of a world with infinite mind. But so...
Who would you show this to?
Well, I picked a board of angels, and my chairman of my board was Alan Greenspan. So it was like, I already trumped freaking Bush with a green span, and a freaking Mad Money, James Cramer, and a Bill Gates and a Steve Jobs, and a Warren Buffett, and a, well, you start naming them all, but my first was like Richard Branson, and Steven Spielberg and Cameron, and to roll up Hollywood and build it to Easter Hollywood. And so, see, I became the grand maestro of Easter Hollywood. See, I'm the ultimate producer. I'm the ultimate director. I'm the freaking ultimate everything in the freaking domain of freaking music and everything. I'd like the freaking first, last, like Hollywood is an infinite singularity, multiversity across space and time. So I pointed myself in a story of billions of instantiations of me going to trillions of people. Now that is a freaking science fiction act that you can't imagine, a comedy act that you couldn't, but see, my comedy act is different. It's not a one-on-one, it's many-to-many. It's like Cosgasm and all the late night shows, all there with all the stars, and we take the cameras everywhere, and like, it's all, and guess what? Every human on Earth, you can wander around with the stars in virtual space.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can join the party. And so like, okay, when I go to empty restaurants like the Breakwater,
Yeah.
they could be filling it up with stars in virtual space and making a movie of me with these virtual stars walking in and out who aren't really there. And then replay it. Because see, that was the thing I created. This is like, I became the ultimate set designer of the time because I created.
How would they create that person there though? That person would have to tap
They
in
just
and
blue
say that
screened
they
them
wanted to
in.
be there.
They just blue screened them in.
Oh, I see.
That person could have been there
I
in a
see.
different space and time.
Okay,
Right?
okay,
They just walk down, sit down in a different space and time. The day before,
So would we all just
1,000
sit
years.
here then, and then we could just say wherever we want to be, we could
Right,
be.
and into fantasy space, into movies where you're like sitting right there, they're blowing things up. Although we're not going to do that in reality, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or you're right there with a scene, okay? Or where you're. See, one of my first scenes when I took my audience, I took them freaking to Mount Everest in shorts. Sort of like this, right? And so it's not, well, if in virtual space it doesn't get caught, right? And by the way, it's 3-dimensional, right? And so, and you can go to real space too. So you can toggle between them. Okay, and then all the information in the planet is.
You just can't actually touch something and feel it. You're just.
Oh, wait a minute, haven't you ever seen my unaudited report? I'm just describing the basics of the technology. You just talk to this thing. And then maybe we do screens and stuff like that with just emotions. You talk to this thing like a person. You see me. You want a computer doing something, you could set your boyfriend as the program. Okay, but the thing is.
Couple of oatmeal cookies.
Nice.
I was gonna
thank
come
you.
over, but I thought it was Bernard yelling at you.
No, it's me.
I was afraid.
No, don't be.
Thank you,
Thank
Kathy.
God.
Don't be afraid.
Thank God she's breaking up with Bernard. I love this woman.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Paramedics.
Paramedic, what kind of cookies are they?
Oatmeal raisin. I think there's one chocolate chip because
Okay.
she makes homemade cookies.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I said one chocolate, one oatmeal raisin. I was just skewers and
It was very good. That sauce is good. The peanut sauce.
peanut sauce.
Peanut sauce.
Huh.
And how was the cheesecake?
The cheesecake was delicious. I forgot half of it in here for Bernice.
And somebody have Bernice and
He
some
gets half.
and Dennis ate it.
No, I wouldn't let him have any.
The dog got in there.
No, he asked if he could. I ate half of it. That was good. Yeah,
I gotta
it was
work
really
Saturday.
good. Oh, okay.
Refinish some bars for roughies.
Okay, cool.
But I think Sunday we might try and do some butterfly game hens
Nice.
because
Okay.
it looks.
Oh, I love
That
those
sounds
things.
good.
Present.
Oh, you butterfly them.
You cut the bone. Well, I want to do some grilled chicken.
Oh, no, because I used to do them in the oven on one of those jammers, and now I have a grill, and that's
They
the
used
perfect way to do it.
The beer can and you stuff it.
Right.
Oh.
And that's what I did in the
All
oven,
the
but
juice.
I want to do it on the grill, and you just gave me the perfect idea. Thanks for coming in.
You did it. Well, I did Singapore beef, but it was sort of ruined. How was
Yeah,
that?